We are on page 7. Let's go over our pre-cuts. So we cut 2 pieces that were 6" by 8". We called them fold-outs. We laid this on our scoring board, so we were 6 inches across. We scored at a 1/2 inch, and we scored at 5/8 on each one of these. And you can go ahead and fold on those score lines. Next, we cut 6 pieces that were 4 1/4 by 5". And there's 6 of them here. And what we did was we laid this on our scoring board, so we were 5 inches across, and we scored each at a 1/2 inch. And you can fold on those score lines. And when you fold on the score lines, make sure, especially on these, that you are using your tool to really sharpen those edges up. Okay, our base sheet for page 7 is the butterflies. Now, you should have actually 2 of these, like this. And I think what we're going to do is we're going to take this one. This one has more butterflies, but let's take this one for our page 7. We are going to grab one of our fold-outs, and I haven't folded yet. Now, this is important because what's going to happen is you're going to have a right side one, and you're going to have the other one left side. So I'm going to keep that one there. I'm going to fold here, making sure they're straight. If they're not straight, chances are your fold-out might go on a little crooked. So I think what we're going to do is attach these first to make sure that we get these on. And so on your outside score line here, we're going to fold, and we're just going to hook that right on over our main sheet. We'll flip it over, and we will tack this down. And be sure to check to make sure no glue seeps into the other side of your page. So we're going to push that back against the other one and fill, make sure that that's flat on the edge, and check for glue, like I said. Okay, this one. So this one, it's going to be upside down. So I'm going to erase it so no one gets, and I'm just going to put left so we know it's the left side in case you pause and come back, and don't want you to think I turned my page upside down and put something on wrong. Okay, on the outside score line, let's pinch it, and we're going to do the same thing. We're just going to come right on over. We're going to match up, make sure we are straight, pinch and hold, and we will tack that down. And we'll push back against that and fill. So that's what we should have here. And we're just going to open this up, and our waterfall is going to go over here, and I think we're going to do that first. So we're going to find our paper. In your paper pack, you will find another butterfly paper. Let's take off that trim piece. I got the trim piece off. Let's turn that sideways. Measure over 7 7/8 inch and cut. We're going to measure over 5 inches and cut. Measure over again 5 inches and cut. Okay, what we're going to do here is we're going to apply glue to these, and we are going to center these over here. Remember, when you're centering it, center it between the outside score line and the edge of your black paper. And we'll glue both of these down. I have both mine down. Grab your ruler, and let's come on over here. Okay, from the bottom of your black, or of your decorative paper, excuse me, just make a light pencil mark, like a slash. Really light. It's going to get erased right there. This is what's going to help us with placement of our first of the waterfalls. So you should have already folded and scored on all those. What we're going to do is we're going to place these so that they have the peak up. And we're going to grab our 3/8 inch score tape. And over here, here is where our flap is. we are going to position this between that score line and the edge of the right edge there. So we're going to do that with each one of these. I have all the score tape on mine, and I think what we'll do first is find all the paper that belongs on front and back. So we're just going to lay these all out with the peak up. Let's find our paper. In your reserves, you should have this piece. It's 12 inches long, and this is the cutting from what we were doing in there, and on the back it looks like this. First, make sure that you are 4 inches wide, 4 inches. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to measure over 4 1/4 inches and cut, and we'll measure over again 4 1/4 inches and cut. So this is what you should have. So all we're going to do is just place one of these down so the line is kind of going like that. If you place it like this, it's going to be too short. So just a heads up there. And we'll put this one over here. In your reserves, you should have this piece, and on the back it is this. This is about 4 1/4, perfect. This way is about 5 1/8. So looking at it like this, measure over 4 inches and cut. Place it down. We're not gluing yet, just in case we want to arrange these differently. In your paper pack, you should have another one of these. Let's take off that trim piece. I've got the trim piece off. Measure over 4 inches and cut. Measure over again 4 inches and cut. I have 3 strips now that are 4 inches wide by 12 inches. We're just gonna, on all of these, what we're going to do is measure over 4 1/4 inches and cut, measure over again 4 1/4 inches and cut. Okay, put one here, put one here, we'll put one here. And for these, we're going to just slide one underneath this one, slide one under this, slide one under this. We still need 1, 2, 3 more to go. In your paper pack, you will find this print. On the back, it is this. Let's take off that trim piece. Okie dokie, here we go. Measure over 4 inches and cut, measure over again 4 inches and cut. So what I'd like you to do is on one of them, and I think I'll take the one with the writing, we're going to measure over 4 1/4 inches and cut, measure over again 4 1/4 inches and cut. On this one, all we have to do is measure over once 4 1/4 inches, and then we'll cut. All right. So we're just going to kind of stick these where they need to go here. Whoops, there goes the dog. So let's see how this is going to play out. I'm going to have this being on top, and I'm just going to hold that underneath. The next one, I'm going to grab this one, see how this all looks. And the reason why I'm showing you this process is because if you ever go to make your own mini album, you'll probably want to do that to make sure it all flows nicely in the color schemes. Next, I think I will take this one and then I think I'll take this one, and this one, and I think it'll look just fine. Okay, so let's glue all these down. We are now ready to place our waterfall, and I put mine in order. Here we go. I'm going to take from the bottom of my stack that little pencil mark we made. That is where the bottom of this is going to hit, and we're going to center that side to side on our decorative paper. So these are real easy, so I'm just going to pull that back behind, and I'm going to try and get that straight, and I'm going to place this. Once you place your first one, the rest of yours are going to fall into place. So I'll take from the bottom of my stack and I'll keep going with this. And this is easy now because all you have to do is go like this and line yourself up and place it. And just keep grabbing from your pile. And I can't tell if I'm staying even or not. I don't want to get my head in the video, but it looks like I'm staying pretty even here. Okay, this one. And our last one. And our waterfall is down. Alrighty, so over here in your reserves you will have this piece. On the back it is this. All I'm going to do is stick this on my paper cutter and cut to divide them all. And I'll cut this way and this way so I have nice even edges. Grab Dream and we're going to glue it onto black cardstock like we've been doing. Then we're going to apply glue to the bottom or the side over here and underneath so you can still tuck things back in there. And then we're going to just place that at an angle right over here. Now grab a magnet and don't worry about covering things up right now. But we're going to place that magnet right over here underneath the D. Let's grab a mate. And we're going to bring this on over and make sure you're straight on the side, and you're going to lightly tap it. And then we can open it up. Now we know where that one needs to place. Let's cover this up. On this sheet are cut apart 3 for 25 cents. We're going to cut that out. And this is going to glue over our magnet over here. And we're just going to place it right like this. So I'm going to make sure I get all this glued down. Make sure you don't go over the edge there. We'll bring it down just enough. Perfect. Let's get our paper for here. In your paper pack you will find another one of these, and on the back it is this gorgeous print. Let's take off that trim piece. Let's turn this sideways. We're going to measure over 7 7/8 inch and cut. Now the next thing I want you to do once you have this is place this on your paper cutter, and we're going to cut straight down, and I'll show you mine. So this is what I have. We're going to measure over 5 1/8 inch and cut, measure over again 5 1/8 inch and cut. So this is what you should have. This one we're going to just set off to the side. On this one we're going to apply glue to this side, and we are going to center that top, bottom, and the sides and glue that down. So what I do next is optional, and I'm going to cut a piece of my lace and I'm going to glue it down right like this. On your cut out sheet, this piece right here at the corner, and I'm going to cut out and around that. Your next step is to glue that piece down to black cardstock and cut out and around, leaving just a little bit of black showing. And it really isn't that hard. I'm not the best fussy cutter, and I'm going to use hot glue for this one. But I like the way this looks. Alright, let's open this up now. Let's just flip these right on up. Grab a bunch of your leftover trim that we've been saving from all of our cuts. And I'm just going to grab some here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to pretty much measure to fit side to side. And also I'll move it over a bit, make sure that you can pull up and get these back over, but down here, so it's not so wide. So my first cut, I think I'm going to cut it straight across, and then I'm going to cut a piece here so that I can use this piece for up there. And we're just going to continue doing that with our scrap trim pieces. I have all mine in there. And that looks good. This page is complete. Flip it over, score tape around the outside like a picture frame. This one is really thick and bulky with the inside waterfall. So we're going to go 1 down the middle and 2 on either side, and we're going to mount that in our book. We are now on to page 8, our final page. Page 8, so we have this set off to the side, and we're going to use this. Let's go over our pre-cuts. There's one. It's a 4" by 8" pocket. Let's get started. We're about done with this tutorial here. So we'll just lay our score tape like we've been doing. And we're going to mount this pocket. Line that up. Press out. And you know how to do the rest. Wrap around these tabs, and we are going to glue that down. In your reserves, you will have this 12" long piece by about 4 inches. We're just going to measure over 6 inches and cut. Next, we're going to measure to fit for the bottom. We're just going to place that right up, leave ourselves a little bit of a black border there. And we'll trim off, what, about a 1/16 or so, and then we'll apply glue and glue that down. Cut a piece of lace to fit across and glue that down. Grab this little card. We're going to mount that and glue it to some black cardstock. Then we're going to apply glue to the back here and down, so glue here and here. And we will place that. Once you have that down, make a little bow. And you know, a lot of this is optional. If you don't want to do it, you don't have to. But I'm just going to place that bow right there. Page 8 is complete. Let's place our score tape around the outside like a picture frame, 1 down the middle and 1 on either side. And we're going to mount this in our book. That was the last page in our book. Now the only thing you have left to do is to create your picture mats. So let's make a picture mat together. Now granted, everyone likes to do their own sizes, but I'm just going to give you one. And for me, I like to make a variety because I have different size photos that I like to print out, or I like to crop out things. So here, right here, I would like you to cut a piece of cardstock that is 4 1/4 by 6 1/4. Now reach in your reserves. You have a 4 by 6 mat all ready for you. It should already be cut. We're going to apply glue to this, and we are going to mount that, centering it just like that. So I grabbed some photos just to give you an idea if you were totally at a loss of how to do picture mats. You can do smaller, like I said, and I cut a smaller one. But this isn't a real good picture due to the lighting, but this is my daughter years ago. So this is a 4 1/4 by 6 1/4, and our matting is a 4 by 6. So I have a photograph that will fit right in there. So that is one option you can do. And you can also mat on the back or journal on the back, or put a little journaling thing down there. I have another size photo. As you can see, they're quite different in size. One's a little longer, and they're about the same width. Anyway, way back when. Here is another one. Now you can put it in center. For me, I would probably move it up and journal down here. And I'm not sure if you can see that. And journal down here, or just center it. So that is an idea. I have another size here that is even different. Okay. If I wanted to place a photo, I can do one right like this, and I can journal this way, or I can go right like this, frame that, so that I have equal framing around there, so it doesn't look funny, and I can journal right down here. Okay. You can also stick two side by side of smaller ones, and I'm going to show you that. So here is one that I could place, and I think you can see right there, and I could journal if I wanted to, or place it down here and journal up here. You can also take the same size and put two on one of these, and then journal on the back. Place a piece of white paper or whatever, however you want to do, or more patterned paper. Okay, so that is an idea. I'm just going to slip that right in our pocket there. I cut a smaller one, and see, and then you can frame right around it, and it looks nice. So there are some ideas for you if you were at a total loss. There is no right and wrong to these picture mats. It's all according to what you like, your photo sizes, and what you'd like to do. Another tip is on these as well, you're going to want to burnish it down to get out any excess glue and to flatten it out. Or you can get warping if it just sits and piles up in one area underneath. So that is the tutorial. I hope you've enjoyed it. Join me on my next one. Happy crafting, everybody. Until next time, see you soon.